Welcome back, everybody. Hello, hello. Nice to see you. Look very relaxed up there. Just chilling. I like it. I like it. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for joining us here for the next session of We Summit 24. Now, this next session is a lively panel discussion on esports philanthropy. Representatives from foundations, charities, and corporations will discuss how esports is being used to create social value and impact the lives of people in communities all around the world. The session will highlight initiatives aimed at using esports as a positive force in education and society. This panel is moderated by Laura McCluskey, broadcaster and entertainer here in South Korea. I will be joined by some fantastic panelists we have for you today. First up, Lewis Kay, founder of Esports Youth Club. Hi, Lewis. Come and join us. We have Nandan Jha, founder and advisor at SOG Federation. And we also have Roman Kardashov, general manager at Park Hyatt Busan. Please join me in welcoming them to We Summit 24. If you need to come and take my mic off me, please feel free. I'll use the hand mic for now, just in case. How are you, gentlemen? You can grab your mics.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
Grab your mic, Nandan. I knew he would be trouble.
Wonderful.
I knew it.
Absolutely fine, Laura. Thank you very much. You're looking good.
It's lovely to have you here with us today, and we're going to dive into the world of esports philanthropy. We're going to focus on things like corporate social responsibility and social impact, which is very, very important in this kind of industry, and especially how these initiatives are influencing esports and how they're influenced by esports in helping communities. But before we get into all of those wonderful things, who are you? Where do you come from? I'm doing my blind date bit now. Give us your insight experience. Who are you? What do you do?
Yeah, so my name is Lewis Kay. I'm the founder and managing director of a charity based in South London called Esports Youth Club. We provide safe spaces for young people from low socio-economic backgrounds, but also any young people really that want to come through and join our sessions to come along and play video games and esports with each other in a setting that is safe and fun and gives them a place to enjoy what they love doing with a sort of structure, with experienced youth workers looking after them. Before that, I've had a career in like sort of social facing public sector services. So I was a police officer for a bit in the Met Police. I quit that and I worked in social housing in Brixton, which is an area sort of that has a lot of sort of gang violence and knife crime and stuff like that. And then following that, I set up Esports Youth Club, and then I worked for UKI, which is the UK Trade Association for Video Games, and I worked there on an educational project based around using esports and video games as a way to teach sort of computer science, but using like play-based learning pedagogies to teach that. So yeah, and now I work full-time for the charity that I set up about 3.5 years ago for Esports Youth Club. So yeah, that's me.
I love it. That's such an impressive resume and a nice length as well. You kept going, you kept talking, making my job easier, Lewis. Thank you so much. And what a fantastic track record you've had.
Thank you.
It's very impressive. So I'm going to move on to Nandan.
Hello.
Hello. Tell us a bit of background about who you are and what it is you are involved with.
Yeah, Lara, thank you very much. Thanks to the IESF and my friend Boban who invited me here. So this is Nandan Jha. I'm a founder of Skill Hub Online Gaming Federation in India. Also president of IMSA. My CEO is here in front of me. The journey, the topic, what you have today. So I started this journey when I was in 16. So I saved one lady and 2 children from fire, and I got a president award. So it's a physical game I started when I was in 16 and 18. I'm a sportsman. I play a cricket. You know, India cricket is all religion. So I'm a very good cricketer. Uh, I'm a founder of Gandhi Mandela Foundation. If you know Mahatma Gandhi and Nelson Mandela, so this is the world biggest federation and the foundation who stood for the non-violence and on the way of Mahatma Gandhi and Nelson Mandela. We work bigger than the Nelson Mandela Foundation do and any Gandhi Foundation in the world they do for the Gandhi. We have foundation in London also. With the journey of esports, start not too long, but started a year and a half before. Started through IMSA. So when IMSA has become a member, we become a member of the IMSA. So IESF is a part of IMSA. And so I fortunate to invite Boban in India, and we sign an agreement for the next great tournament we'll have in India, first time. Social impact. So yeah, the life journey, we learn how this industry will impact socially when nothing is work. COVID-19 is our best of the example in the world. No physical event, no ground, no society. People are scared to come on a ground, meet family-owned members. Then this is the platform who help the entire world for the charity. So whatever the game you name, it's a football, anything on a esports, you can have some charity games. And with this charity money, you can actually help the needy. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And we'll get back to that and we'll talk a bit more about that soon. Roman, how about you? Because you are, I mean, how much do you know about esports?
I know quite a bit, actually.
Oh, really? Interesting.
It might be surprising why a hotel manager would be part of this panel. But first of all, I love gaming, and I was a big gamer growing up. We had a side conversation earlier. We didn't really have esports growing up, so there was very little regulation when it comes to gaming. And I think just like with anything in the world, everything has positives and negatives. And I think that the esports framework really offers safe and productive environment for opportunity youth, for children, adults worldwide to interact and create a very important social bonds that are very difficult to come by these days. So on that side, I'm a big fan of esports. Now I'm a general manager of the Park Hyatt here in Busan, and for Hyatt as a corporation and our hotel in particular, we strongly believe that every company and every business has a responsibility when we operate in the community. So we need to be the ambassadors of education. We need to contribute whichever way we can to minimize the negative impact that every organization ultimately has and bring about the positivity. So there are a lot of things that we do in the hotel, and I'm sure we'll touch on some of those in our discussion.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, in fact, let's stay with you. So in the Park Hyatt Busan, now I know that Park Hyatt Busan is, it's one of, if not the best and most popular hotel in Busan. And of course, if you've never seen it, there's a line of lovely hotels across the beach, and it's right looking over the Gwangan Bridge. Beautiful. But aside from that, I mean, there's so much work that goes into what you do. So corporate social responsibility, social impact initiatives, what does that look like for Park Hyatt Busan?
Well, hotels in general, I think, play a huge role in the local economics, having a lot of buying power. We get to choose, which suppliers we have to work with. And for example, I know that we've had a lot of that conversation with yourself. It's a choice that a business has to make. Where do they, shop for their seafood, or where they shop for their meat? Do we choose sustainable options, or we go with the cheapest product. And being a luxury hotel like Park Hyatt Busan, we do have the privilege to actually source locally. We source sustainably to make sure that we minimize the impact on the environment, and we help to protect the community that we operate in. That's kind of on the supplier side of things. Also, I think very much related to esports is opportunity to impact the growing population, right? So to really focus on children. Hyatt has an incredible program called Rise High, which gives the opportunity youth a great deal of chance to work and develop their careers in hospitality. A lot of times, those children from orphanages and children's homes, they lack their families, they lack their guidance, they lack mentorship. So hotels are a great place for them to develop as they're surrounded by a loving family, in this case Hyatt, but actually a lot of hotels have similar programs. So it's a very good way to bring them into the business world and give them opportunity to learn and grow. And I think that's where actually with the esports potentially has the biggest sort of opportunity to work together.
So is that what's in the cards? Where's Boban? Is there a little Park Hyatt Busan International Esports Federation collaboration coming up? I don't want to give too much away. I mean, I don't know what's going on.
If I can,
where is he?
If I can add on CSR.
Please do, yeah.
So, in India, there is a necessity that out of your incomes, 2% you have to invest in corporate social responsibility. Earlier, it was a mandatory and punishable offense if you don't do. So government was just relax the corporate. There is no punishable offense, but it's offense. So you have to invest your 2% income in corporate social responsibility. Anyway, in India, like what they do, all corporate companies, they have their own foundation. So chartered accountant in India, they teach them how to route this in a different way. So actually you don't have to spend because it's $1 billion. So, but there is a few men who don't strict themselves for 2% of social responsibility. They go beyond 5%, 10%, somebody's 20%. Government don't allow. Government allow only 10%, maximum you can show it to. 2% is a guarantee you have to invest. When it's come to a CSR in esports, it's not even yet introduced. So this is why I need help from my friend Boban. I'll take it this world to the India. It's very new in India. Though we have more than 560 million gamers in India, 30% in the world. But the top corporates who actually contribute in the CSR, it don't recognize this. So, if they touch this new era of sports, they will like it. And if they liked, so how much they like, the example is IPL, Indian Premier League. So soon, in the next year, we'll cross FIFA. For the next 4 years, the collections of money from the IPL auctions, what they receive is $8 billion. So now, the Lalit Modi, who was a founder, he is in London. My friend is from London, so he told me this figure will be in double. So you can see the FIFA collections and the IPL connections. So where this money comes from? No international company. Only Indian company under the CSR and the marketing budget they spend. And guess, if this budget, a little bit we can use for the gamer, for esports, where this industry will go. Thank
So
you.
I want to continue on that point because it's a very good point, and I think with your SOG Federation, first of all, for anyone who doesn't know, could you give us a brief explanation of what you do? But in your organization, within SOG, what corporate social responsibility programs do you have? And now you've moved into esports. How are you going to make that transition? How are you going to add it?
Very frankly, we haven't started yet as a CSR activities, because when you do a CSR, you should have extra fund. Uh, as of now, all the federation all over the world, they are struggling for their own tournament. So, but yes, a sky is a limit in India. We just have to involve corporate that this is also your responsibility towards the society, and they cannot deny because their youth is there. We just have to realize that, guys, wake up. Now this is the time your son is playing esports, and you're giving crores of rupees to some education institute, and not to some things to make a career of your sons and daughter, your children's, Indian children's, Asian children's. So yes, when they realize, they will give us, they will help us. And for SOG federations, we made this federation because Government of India was not believing in other existing federations till date. Because you can see the only this companies running these federations. So unlike the world federations, you have your own company, you're making your own products, and for these products you have a federation. So India say, listen, this is not going to happen in India. I want a federations, so your member should be a state federation. So we have a 30 state in country. So the only state federations can be your members, not a company, the corporate company. So the corporate company can contribute in the CSR when we have a CSR budget. But as of now, when we come up with some product, some plan, like this summit in New Delhi or Mumbai, this World Cup is global tour in Delhi and Mumbai. So we have to show some things. They can't listen your rosy pictures and what happened in here. They want to see something in New Delhi and Mumbai. If you can do it, so all CSR budget is yours. They have to invest. They have to spend. This is not their money. So we can grab this money for the betterment of all the gamers in India and Asia. So SOG federations, what we did, so like myself, I'm a journalist, advocate. So when I started this federation, I have chosen the former Chief Justice of India as a chief advisor. I'm advisor as advocate, so the Chief Justice of India is a chief advisor. The Secretary for Women and Child Development, Urban Development and Labor is a president of these federations. So he is an IITN. IIT is top technological institute in India, the best of the brain you can get from the IIT. So he's not only a bureaucrat, he's a technocrat also. So like this, we have a cyber security advisor to the Prime Minister, Mr. Gulshan Rai. He's our cyber committee's chairman. So yesterday we were talking about the ethics committee. So our ethicals committee and doping test will be scrutinized by the Prime Minister's Modi advisor, Gulshan Rai. So ethics committee headed by a former judge of Supreme Court, India. So that's a lady, Justice Gyan Sudha Mishra, is the judge. So we made the federations, never happened, never listened, nobody knows. I don't think so. I have a box, I'll show it to you. No federation as such in the world existing. So we try to make it, we build it, only members by state federation, and their member is a district federations. So now your answers, your answer of the question is yes. Skill Hub Online Gaming Federations is working on the project. 18th, 19th December, the first project will start. The first of its kind, never happened in India before. It's a world class. And the second, we all will be witness. We will do together, we'll make the new history in India. And I'll request you, the entire team, please come witness of this event.
We absolutely will, because it's so important. Number one, social impact is just at the forefront of this session, of course, but the development of global industry regardless, because so many different worldwide issues, climate change, etc., etc. We'll not get too deep into the sad parts of what goes on day to day, but it's just such an important role that organizations and corporations have to play to make sure that the future is sustainable and is, you know, bright for our kids when we're long gone. Okay, I went back to the dark parts of the world. Lewis, I'm going to come back to you, because your organization, it's not about what we do for social impact, it's all social impact. And I have a specific question. I want to know, number one, you know, tell us a bit more about what the Youth Club does and what you do there, but also what initiatives in esports are being used to drive positive social change and impact. So you personally, and then what you've seen outside of your organization.
Yeah, so at Esports Youth Club, we have 3 hubs across South London. One of them is an old shipping container unit that we've sort of transformed into a streaming studio and a sort of private space that young people from the age of about 14 plus can book out and use this space for free. And there's high-spec gaming PCs in there, there's streaming equipment. I painted the wall green so they can do sort of streaming activities and stuff like that. So that's like one section of it. The other section is every Monday we do a Fortnite Academy with young people. That's more of a structured session where we sort of try to emulate what it would be like if you were in like a genuine esports academy. But this is a free session. We provide hot food at the session for all the people that attend. And we engage a lot of young people that don't engage with other youth services. I think about 75% of our users don't engage with other sort of youth provisions in London. And a lot of them are sort of being kicked out of school for different reasons or whatever it might be. So we're able to provide a structure for young people who they love playing video games and potentially esports, right? I mean, esports is quite niche in the UK, so they identify more as people that just like casually playing video games, but then we introduce them to, at the Fortnite Academy, like, this is what esports players do, this is all the different job roles that you can get into, these are the different skills that you can acquire, things like basic sort of smart, soft skills like teamwork, communication, leadership is actually really important in developing them for the future, right? And they get to sort of meet their peers, whether that's other like older young people or the experienced youth workers that facilitate those sessions, and they can learn from them and learn how to interact and sort of, they can also learn how to play video games better and be less toxic and be less sort of like angry and stuff like that. So that's on Mondays. We have a girls only session on Thursdays. It's called Power Play, to empower women through gaming. The idea there is that's a girls only space ran by female youth workers to provide a safe space just for them. Obviously in the future we'd love to see it be more mixed, as people were saying on the panel before, with the gender balance in gaming. We want to see that represented more in esports, and that's something that we're trying to encourage with that session on a Thursday. But yeah, we run like 7 sessions throughout the week, so the rest of them are a mixture of like sort of more casual esports style tournaments with more accessible games that young people can play. So they range from Fortnite to EAFC, which is really popular in the UK because everyone loves football, and then like games like NBA, and we do some partnership work with companies like 2K and EAFC for that, which is great, and that's really helpful. So yeah, we run those sessions, and then we have some free play sessions where people can just come along, play whatever video game they want. They can chat with other people, they meet new friends. I think, well, I've done some impact reporting recently at a youth club, and about 80% or 88%, I think it was, of young people who attend our youth club have met at least one new friend from it who they're now like cool, happy to call friends and stuff like that, which I think you were talking about COVID and people not really wanting to get out, and they've sort of forgotten how to interact with each other. And I think it's really important to bring back that element of gaming in a space with other people in person. And in the UK, there's a lack of like PC cafes and all that type of stuff. So coming to Korea is amazing to see that. And to see how it's like such a part of mainstream culture is so beautiful to see, and something that we really want to try and replicate as much as possible, and to remove those barriers of cost as well for young people. So yeah, we sort of operate in estates where young people are. Sometimes young people don't even want to leave their own housing estate to go to a different one because of, I don't know, gang tensions, postcode wars, whatever it might be. So yeah, and I think the role of CSR in esports in particular is like, is very new. Like gaming companies are supportive and on board, and publishers are, and obviously some esports teams, they give a portion of their winnings to charities, and some video game publishers, they like Call of Duty have the endowment fund, they give a portion to veterans in the army, right, which is like a directly related to what their consumers are into. So CSR, it can have this amazing social impact, but it can also like be like a really key tool in like building your brand, I think, which is you see companies do it all over the place. And I think with gamers in particular, they're like really connected to whatever game it is they're into, or various different titles, right? So if you've got a strong CSR program behind that, especially with this new generation of young people who are definitely more sort of aware of how they spend their money and what they want to do, I think that could be a really valuable tool to sort of help establish your brand.
I think that's very interesting that you say that, because you are the one, I guess you would be an organization that is a recipient of CSR, right? So that relationship where the company, the organization, the corporation is looking to make contributions for CSR initiatives or for social impact initiatives. So how does that relationship work then in terms of the corporation donating to you? I mean, tell me about that.
Yeah, I mean, running sort of a non-profit organization, we're a community interest company, it's like a charity, is competitive in London, and I'm the only full-time member of staff, unfortunately, but I work with about 15 youth workers, and a lot of my time is spent writing like funding and bid writing applications and grant applications and stuff like that. So it's really very useful when we do activations with publishers, and because the grant reporting is extensive, right, and it takes a lot of time. But whereas when you work with a company that has that CSR budget that they can put into it, and you can have much more freedom in what you want to do, and you can be more creative, and I think that's really important with this sort of esports as a new thing. Like traditional sort of funders and traditional CSR budgets might not really recognize the benefits of like an esports youth club, for instance. So the relationship is it's great, because we can be like, we can offer you such a great return on, like, social return on investment, and in return just let us know what you want to do, you know, as long as it's to do with esports and video games and that type of stuff, we're there.
Give it to us. We'll take it all. I think it's really inspiring as well for the young people to see that, number one, you're there standing up for them, creating these opportunities for them. But I mean, coming from the UK, I'm well aware of the kind of socio-economic disparity when it comes to even neighborhoods that are very close to each other. And so some of these kids, I guess, are going to be having opportunities not just to use technology that maybe they don't have in their own homes, but also access to human interaction that they don't have in their own homes and schools, right?
Yeah, that's exactly it. I mean, we have such a range of ages that come through to our youth club, firstly, that some of the young people are like 6 years old, and they go all the way up to the age of 19, right? And in a traditional sports club setting, that wouldn't really work. Like you can't really play football. I mean, you could, but not to your full potential, you know, in the same way. But it's so great to see, yeah, like a 10-year-old beating a 15-year-old in like a 1v1 or something, and we always love that, and we're always like celebrating that. So yeah, it's sorry, what was the other part of the question? It was about,
Well, just like they get to have these human interactions that
Oh, yeah,
perhaps they
yeah,
don't
of
have,
course.
or technology interactions that they don't get at home or in school.
yeah, so the technology part, sorry, that's the other part is some young people, they come through and they've got that technology at home, but the social interaction part, they're sorely lacking, right? And they can play online, but it's not the same, and they don't make those connections and friendships. We do have plenty of other young people that come through that, yeah, they see like a PS5 for the first time and they're like, oh, I just want to touch it. I don't even want to play it. I'm like, you can play it. It's free. And they're like, whoa, that's crazy.
Whoa, that's crazy, man.
yeah, yeah. So, yeah, it's a real mixture. It's a mixture of ages, and it's a mixture of like what technology the young people have at home. I mean, some of them also, they spend all of their money on the gaming technology, and then they don't have any money for anything else. So then they come through, we give them hot food, that type of
Yeah.
stuff.
And so I'm going to keep on the education track. And Roman, because I know that you have children, Park Hyatt Busan is also involved with a lot of educational, whether it's within the hotel or kind of outside in the local community, but you're also involved with educational initiatives. So what role do you see that esports could play in terms of developing skills and developing just knowledge, I guess, in the classroom?
I think it's a very good question, and actually in the school where my son Daniel goes, I really like this term that the school created. It was a responsible digital citizen, and I think it's a similar sort of concept with the esports in the gaming community, right? Because it's moderated, there are rules of conduct, there is etiquette involved. Because the world of gaming can be quite cruel, right? There's a lot of cyberbullying that's happening, worldwide. There's a potential inappropriate behavior as well, and the platform of esports to me gives the gaming community a framework to follow, right? And as a parent, I much rather prefer my kid be engaged in gaming through esports than sitting at home alone, playing for hours on end, right? So it's about moderation. It's about giving this activity a framework that is beneficial. In terms of developing skills, I think already mentioned, a lot of this is about team, right? The development of leadership skills, communication skills, that's critical for any industry, for just being a responsible citizen, right? Very, very important. But just physical skills, memory is very important. Problem solving for certain games is critical. So there are a lot of just physical benefits to gaming as far as I'm concerned, so long as it's done in the right environment and not for too long, as I like to tell my son.
Yeah, there's got to be boundaries, right? Nandan, how about you? What do you see as the role of education?
Yeah, even I have a very small son. He's 3.5 and more than intelligent than me. So the school education's program, the STEAM, the science, S for science, T for technology, E for engineering, M for mathematics. So this is a school program that started and integrated. Many of the colleges in the world, they are giving scholarship. California and Irvine. They are giving esports scholarships in the world. So this is a time for us, as in federations. So if California can give the scholarships, why can't India and Asians, big university, can boost students toward this career? One thing, we cannot stop any children specially to stop esports gaming. He'll be very angry. I can't dare. So no parents can dare this time. So what the best part is, to see some career for your students, make this as a course. It's already a course, but a supporting course. Like every children is not the same. Somebody's have all the facilities around, somebody's don't have. Then it's CSR comes. When somebody don't have and he's very good player, where they will go? They know only a one language, that the sports. They are very good gamer, but lack of sports equipments. If they don't have equipments, they can't play. Here CSR and our topics comes. To reach out that gamer, help out. How you can help? You are a corporate, you cannot help. You need some federations to reach to them, know them, and educate them. Ki, listen, there is a university in the world. You're actually giving scholarships, kind of you are students like that. So like this, even we'll find out in education, the federation responsibility, the role and responsibility to come up with these educations, copy to work the best California, they have done it, and push this corporate world for this CSR activities towards scholarship. So they can pay directly to the university and students get benefited.
So then, because India, and correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm sure you will correct me if I'm wrong, India as an emerging market in esports, how could you, as a federation, then make sure that the education side and the benefits that esports has for education, how would you step into that as your new role in terms of setting up all of the fantastic things that are coming in India?
So, everybody is very intelligent. If you ask them to set up some things, he said, give me the benefit. So what benefits comes from if somebody is esports gamer? It's physicals, chemistry, mathematics, engineers. So your students can be a problem solving, teamwork. This is what the esports you learn from. Ethical thinking. 5 persons playing together, ethicals and criticals both. If you're not ethicals, you cannot play, and the criticals thinkings. If you can put this way, this is a benefit from the esports. So then the corporates will help us to promote this esports into India and to rural level. There is two India existing, is urban and rural. I think it's a world is two kind of. This one is urban, one is rural. But the best part of India is, even in the urban and the rural India, they both youths love esports. All are playing. Our role to give them, their parents should know what is the benefit out of this game and how his son and daughter can make a career in the esports.
So you would propose education, not just for the esports players and for kids in school, but for parents, for the old people.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
If the parents will not agree, India is a place your son, daughter cannot do anything. They can't marry even if they like somebody, they can't marry boys and girls if the parents don't allow. India is such a country as such. And even you are allowed to do it, but since you know your mom, dad don't like them, you don't get married to somebody. So how come the career they can decide? They don't decide career also. It's not every part of India. I said the India is for urban and the two India is there, the urban and rural. 60%, 70%, as I said, they believe in their parents. So of course you have to educate parents as well. You have to educate parents the benefit of the students, how career will be secure. If the parents will understand, yes, their children's, and you can take the examples. Whatever the sports star is become in India is because of their parents. Either mother sacrifice, either father sacrifice the entire life. What they have done, they have not done anything. They have just taken their daughter for the tennis, and the girls become Sania Mirza, the world best tennis stars. The world's top tennis stars, not best, we have not given the best yet. But the cricketer like Sachin Tendulkar, so his brother, he sacrificed his career. And at the age of 4, he took every day to Sachin, 3 o'clock in the morning. And the municipal bus, he took the municipal bus to the stadium. And he's wigging the entire coach because they don't have money, this is a very poor family. And the coach trusted him and given him chance to play. And then we got the cricket god. The Sachin Tendulkar is one of the man. So India is a place where if you don't convince parents, you cannot take their children to the career.
It's so important, and so that will be kind of one of the clear markers for you in terms of moving forward in India with esports. I love that. Roman, I'm going to go back to you, and I'm going to come up the way through the panel to talk about charity, because I think it's very important. There's a lot of talk about CSR, but then there's also charity initiatives that are very important for communities across the world. So I want to ask Roman, I mean, I know that Park Hyatt Busan works with charities, so if you could give us a little background of that. We've got 3 minutes before I open it up. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And then also, how effective do you think that charity initiatives within the esports community in raising awareness and funds are, if you know, or might be, if you could guess?
Sure. Well, I think charitable donations are very, very important. And as a business, again, we do have the privilege of being able to donate to different charities. And again, I think the initiatives that we have started here in Busan, we donate to children's home to help them invest more in, for example, technology and build up additional facilities for the students to be able to learn and educate themselves. We donate to underprivileged or low-income families through different organizations, but we also engage in some of those charities physically, right? It's also about participation and in really putting yourself out there and delivering the donation sort of hand in hand. And then with the esports, I think the industry is very, very complex. I mean, we're sitting here in this beautiful stadium, and it's there's a lot of investment that went into putting this space together, I'm sure, which means the industry is evolving, it's developing, and it attracts a lot of sponsors, it attracts a lot of attention. These days we spend a lot of time in the media world, right? I'm sure a lot of people watch tournaments and they're excited about their teams, just like with traditional sports. And that gives the teams an opportunity to then donate potential prize money. It gives the sponsors an opportunity to donate funds to different charities. I think that the developers also have a huge responsibility when it comes to that, because again, the industry is growing, and esports puts a lot of attention and makes essentially the developers benefit from this. So that gives them an opportunity to then give back to the community and through charitable donations. So I think that there's a lot of opportunity for us to work together with the developing side of things, with the esports community. And as a hotel, we were talking about this earlier as well, we are a perfect place where people can come together and socialize and interact and potentially come together to make a bigger difference. So a lot of opportunity ahead.
So an esports event at Park Hyatt Busan then?
So funny that you ask, because we have a big opportunity, I think, over the summer months. So we are planning to host sort of a mini esports tournament during the summer break, because again, we see the hotel stay experience is very diverse, right? Well-being is a huge part of the experience of staying in the hotel.
Yeah,
and
you actually won an award this year for World Wellness Weekends, right? Korea's most active hotel.
That's right. And, to me, well-being is not just about, meditation or sports or activities. I see that there's a lot of opportunity in well-being through esports. Again, bringing the community together. It's a form of meditation, at least for me. I still game myself. I'm a 37-year-old general manager, but I do like to play with friends online, and I love playing with my kids. So I'd love to put together a little tournament over at the hotel, and then with the proceeds potentially going to a charity. That also allows for our guests to experience more of the hotel, right? It gives them another opportunity to do something that they have never done before in our beautiful property. So.
Yeah, well, we shall look forward to that. So mark your calendars next summer, back in Busan, Park Hyatt Busan. Nandan, how about you? Just briefly, if you could tell us about what's your experience of charity initiatives and in esports and how influential they are?
See, charity is something when you give for the social cause. So in India, both are the same. The CSR and charity, it's come both. When you give away some money to the welfare of the society, it's a charity. The same as CSR, corporate social responsibility. Both is the same. So, yes, we have some responsibility towards the society. And even I do charity. Since I have a foundation, I told you. But the charity in India, you have to give the entire details of what investment you have done for the particular money. Because it's an offense. If you take some money from the corporates for the charity purpose and you don't spend, so you also is answerable as the corporate is answerable. So not in the esports as such, I told you, I've just begin with, but in the healthcare, if we take some money for the charity, so if I give it to somebody, I have to give entire detail of her, then her entire expenses, then if she gets some medicals van around, then who's a doctor, nurse, lab technicians, and the medicines. Where these medicines you brought it, the buy it, the bill of that medicines, the entire simple things, the transparent things you have to put before the financial years to the government. So the charity is in our country. You can do your charities, but there is a limitations of government cannot accept the entire income you have given to the charity. You can do it, but the government don't accept this. They say 10%, 12%, 15%, you put it to the charities. So the gamers and benefits, the world will get the benefit out of it. Yeah.
And so, the transparent nature of the process and of the system itself means that it is effective in actually helping raise awareness.
In a true sense, yes.
Yeah.
In a true sense, yes.
Yeah, I love that. We're going to end with you, Lewis. Tell us, you know a lot about it. We've got 1 minute and 12 seconds left. But so if you could just succinctly let us know about, in terms of charities and how that works in esports and if it does actually make a difference.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference. I mean, we have to do reporting on everything that we spend money on all the time. I do that every week. It takes a long time. We tell our story through social media, through case studies, through things like that, right? And we've been on a journey over the last 3.5 years from where we started up. It takes a lot to get noticed in this new environment, especially as a new charity in a space that is very competitive and stuff like that. So it is really helpful when you partner with other organizations and you get that support from bigger sort of companies that understand and what you do and are like invested in that specific thing that you're doing, right? So I think it's really important to sort of collaborate in the right way in that sense. I try my best to get our young people to tell the story for us, because it's a lot better than me just being like, yeah, esports is great, you know, it's good for you. And that's like always the most effective way, but I'm always trying to do more to get out there and get our name out there and recognized as an initiative, because it's worked. And I mean, over the last year, we've had 3,000 young people use our services, and we've only been operating now for 3 years. And it's one of the most sort of used youth provisions in the boroughs that we work with in South London now. So I'm really proud of that. And I get quite a lot of inquiries recently about, oh, can we expand here? Can we do that? But without the funding, it's very difficult to do so, right? As much as I would love to. So yeah, telling the story is a big part of what we do in the social impact reporting, and the sort of, we talk a lot in the charity world about theory of change, which is like using like transformative language that sort of demonstrates the impacts that our charity at Esports Youth Club has, or any charity, and the effect that it has on young people from when they first started using our services to 6 months down the line. Or for some of our young people now, they've been coming consistently for 3 years, and they now, like, sort of the ones that are not in education or employment, that we have a volunteering scheme. They work with us. We give them opportunities to get jobs and get out there. And yeah, that's what we try to do. So I could talk for a long time. But
no, listen, it's fantastic. It's all so informative, and it's what this session is all about, right? We will open the floor. Before we do that, I want to say thank you so much for this very diverse panel, for your perspectives, for your unique insights. Please, everybody, give it up for our panel here. Fantastic. Okay, I will open the floor. Does anyone want to ask any questions? Any questions? No, don't give it to him.
It's actually more of a prompter, because I mean, so now I've been coming and going, and we met Nandan several times. But exactly this model, you know, of having, let's say, like the PC Bang in Korea, might be something that's feasible in India, something similar. I mean, you're operating one sort of PC cafe?
we've got 3.
3.
Yeah.
And what's the cost generally? I mean, of course, London is quite expensive.
It is indeed. The main costs go on the venue. We sort of store our stuff elsewhere and then set it up in the venue and then have to pack it down. So it's the venue and it's the staff costs. So it sort of varies depending on where we're at, to be honest with you. So yeah, it's quite difficult to put a price on it. but now we've got all of our equipment.
Operating hours, it's sort of what, 7 days a week?
Yeah, we run 6 sessions a week at the moment.
6
Yeah.
And it's sessions, not so it's not like you open, it's not like the PC Bank type of thing.
Exactly, yeah. We're limited to the venues that we operate in. So 2 of the venues we operate in, we've got a space inside of a public library.
Right.
Which is really cool, because then the young people can get involved in that library space as well. But yeah, we have to operate around those other things. We'd love to have our own permanent space, and that's something that we definitely would like in the future. And we have that in our streaming space, but that's the only spaces like that, yeah.
Right. Laura, the question was to you, because yesterday you mentioned these PC Bangs as well. I mean, the rates I was just checking on the internet were like 1,000 won for 1 hour and 5,000 for multiple hours. I mean, is that still the rate today in Korea, roughly?
I've not been to a PC Bang recently. However, if anyone else knows the answer, 혹시 그 한국 사람들에게 그 질문 있어요. 그 오늘 PC 방에 가면 1시간 얼마예요? 1,500원? So about 1,500 won for 1 hour.
It's like $1 roughly for
yeah, around $1 still. 아직까지요? Wow. Yeah. So yeah, I mean it's very affordable. It's not cost prohibitive.
Business model how they actually make it, you know, with $1 an hour, because of course you have the labor cost of having supervision is
Yeah, that is interesting. I mean, the ones that operate in the UK are anywhere between 10 to 15 pounds an hour.
wow.
Yeah.
And is the purpose the same as what they are in Korea?
I think they do try to emulate that. Yeah, they're like PC cafes with quite a big like East Asian influence on like the design of them and how they are, and they try to offer that experience. Yeah, and they offer like food and drinks, and you can play together in different environments. Yeah, but it's very expensive.
Thank you for your question.
Hello, yes, I just have actually one additional comment, not a question. When we are talking about this esports philanthropy, just now I think we have been discussed a lot about what we can do charity for esports. I just also want to share something what is happening in China. That is the charity by esports. But for sure, in return, actually, it will help cultivate the culture of esports, and then also like set up some very good image for esports. And so in return, will benefit esports. In China right now, for example, we have actually some champions. They actually start a lot of initiatives to help actually set up the computers and all those things in the rural areas, in the villages for the poor kids. And that has actually gained very good social impacts. And another very interesting observation or interesting thing I want to share. This will also, I think, also do the fundraising for esports is nowadays in China, this live streaming is very popular, especially in the live streaming rooms. You sell a lot of stuff, and you also have the games broadcasting as well. And one very popular thing is tipping. So in the live streaming room for the esports games, and many people actually were tipping. So even just by doing this within 1 hour, I think easily like about $10,000 you could you could get. And then people use this money. Also many esports organizers in China, they use this kind of charity to eliminate the poverty. So they ask everyone to actually tip and then donate everything, to for example, to the Hope School, in China. But of course, you can do also fundraising by this to support the training of the esports players, or also for the kids as well. I just want to share some interesting practice in China.
1 hour, $10,000. I love that. Come on, China. Does anyone have anything to add to the comment, or should we take another question? We've got 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Anybody question? 혹시 질문하고 싶은 사람 계신가요? 제가 통역해드리겠습니다. 아니, 필요 없어요? 예, 알겠습니다. Anthony, ask us a question.
I'm going to follow the trend of a comment. It's quite interesting to compare the price of a PC cafe here. I think Lewis is mentioning, was it £10 for an hour? Ours in Australia, it's not nearly as expensive, but it's still comparable. We have it varies from probably $8 an hour, but to some more fancy establishments that try to mirror what these Asian sort of internet cafes have done. Those get really pricey, up to $50 an hour Australian. So it's it's just sort of good feedback to see that there's moves in the right direction, but the price sensitivity is a big issue. So yeah.
That's a great comment, and it's nice to be able to compare. And I think Korea's really got it right in terms of having that community and that social welfare that doesn't have the label of social welfare. It doesn't have the label of a CSR, but it is set up specifically to help people who don't have access to the technology, who don't have access to the communities, to be able to develop those skills and have that access. We've got 30 seconds, so I will very quickly very quickly, in 10 seconds, if you have anything extra you'd like to say before we break for lunch, please feel free. Nandan, I know you've got something to say. You've always got something to say.
Yeah, thank you, Lara. The first time I came to this beautiful country and the beautiful city, I love the people surround. And yeah, there's a hub of esports gaming. What a sad part is I can't see many of the, witness for this beautiful, incredible speakers from all over the world. We should invite and engage the university here around. This is what we do also. So when I'm inviting everybody to India, so I'll invite the entire university to be witness for this because they can't see them, very easily. Being the head of the IMSA or Gandhi Mandela Foundations, and speaking some things, which is very good for the university students also. So yes, one thing I'm taking from here is, I like the city, I like the food, I like the people around, and they are passionate about the esports. This is what I'm taking from here. And thank you very much. You are a very good host.
Thank you.
I've seen you from the start, day before yesterday, and you are the same energy you have. The rest
I'm
panel,
looking
they met you the first
that's
time.
why. And Dan,
Not like
thank
me.
you so much for your kind
So
words.
thank you so much for everything you have done for till here we are. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Roman, how about you? 30 seconds
Sure.
or less.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to say a big thank you. I think it's a very, it was great to participate on the panel, and it really opens up the conversation on where the social responsibility portion of esports will lead us, and it's great to meet the different people from the community because it opens up opportunities for the future. So I'm sure we'll work on some projects very soon and bring about the positivity of esports.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I love it. And Roman has a very interesting background as well and speaks multiple languages, so we've got access to all the markets. Lewis, I'll end with you. 30 seconds or less. Final thoughts.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I've been having an amazing time out in Korea, so I'm very grateful to the IESF for having me here. If anyone wants to know about how to set up an esports youth club or have any information that they want to know from me, then please just reach out to me, and I'm more than happy to talk and collaborate and work together to bring esports to local communities.
I love it. Thank you so much. Please, one more time, a huge round of applause for our fantastic panel. Thank you. All right, gentlemen, please stay seated. We will be back at 2 p.m. after lunch. So go and enjoy your lunch. We'll be back for sponsoring the esports future. Enjoy lunch. See you soon. Bye-bye.